Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at Lucario and Melmetal Tag Team GX. Ladies and gentlemen, so far, I have shown you 9 out of 10 of the released Tag Team GXs winning tournaments over in Japan. I told you that I didn't think it would be long before we made it 10 out of 10 with Lucario and Melmetal. Today is that day. Now, I know that not all of these tournaments are that big, although incidentally this was a over 100-person tournament in Japan. This was not a small tournament. But as I've said every time I've brought this up, when was the last time every type of card was winning? Every EX, no, some of them were rubbish. Every GX, no, some of them were rubbish. Every Tag Team GX so far, 10 out of 10, are good. So let's remind ourselves about Lucario and Melmetal Tag Team GX, shall we? What we have here is, well, I mean, really, we love the GX attack. 1 colorless energy until the end of the game. All of your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from your opponent's attacks. If this Pokemon has 1 extra energy attached to it, discard all energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely awesome. It basically gives all of your Pokemon, metal Pokemon, a metal frying pan, except it can't be field blown off. And you can also play Metal Frying Pan. Now, you can do 4 energy 150, or double colorless energy 50 damage, search for metal energy and attach it to this Pokemon. I don't think you should. I don't think that's the optimal way to go about this, if I'm honest with you. It's not what I would go for personally. I think this is a deck where what you really want to do here is go for non-GXs with your Lucario and Melmetal. Now, let's be clear. We are playing double colorless energy. We are playing for Lucario and Melmetal. You will absolutely be attacking with this. You've got 260 HP, you've got the GX attack, and you're going to have Metal Frying Pan. So 260 HP with 60 damage less done every turn. That is good. And the first attack will get you going for the second. I am not saying you won't attack with this. Obviously you will. I'm just saying if you can do it with non-GXs, that's the way to go. You're not doing quite enough damage of either of these attacks, but double colorless energy, use Steel Fist to accelerate an energy, attach from hand, so 1 turn 50, next turn 150. The 2-hit KO will come in for most Pokemon. Okay. So these non-GXs I keep talking about, which ones have we got? Well, the main one here is Duskmane Necrozma, which was really popular in Stack Attack and Naganadel decks for a little while, and then kind of ran away, never to be seen again. It's a little bit sad if you ask me. Well, it's back, ladies and gentlemen. It's back. 1 metal energy, 60 damage to one of your opponent's GX or EX Pokemon. 3 energy, 100 damage. If your opponent's got 1 prize card remaining, 200. This is your early game Pokemon. Let's be clear, what you really want is a turn 1 GX attack here, so that you're then not taking very much. And you've got 130 HP Pokemon that's taking 60 damage less, assuming you get a Metal Frying Pan on, which you should. So this will work out quite nicely, but it's more of an early game, spread some damage around. We also have 1 copy here of Celesteela. That is the one from Celestial Storm that essentially does 160 damage for a single energy, just so long as both players have a total of 6 remaining prize cards exactly. This is rather nice indeed. Now, to be fair, that means that we're left having to attack with Lucario and Melmetal. No bad thing, but what you really want to do is take advantage of Ultra Necrozma and Celesteela as much as you can, and use Lucario when you have to. And there's one other Pokemon here, and it is that Larvitar, which is really doing the rounds. Double colorless energy, which we are playing anyway. 10 damage, but if the active Pokemon's got at least 3 damage counters, you do 70 more damage. Now, this is actually really crucial, because if Duskmane Necrozma does 60 damage to a Zoroark, then you're now doing 160, and you will get the KO. And you might be thinking, well, that's not quite enough to KO a Pikachu and Zekrom. Well, in that case, either 2 attacks from Duskmane Necrozma, or Choice Band. After 1 attack from Duskmane Necrozma, this non-GX 60 HP evolving basic for a double colourless energy can take 3 prizes. That sounds pretty good to me. And that's the entire Pokemon line. There are no other Pokemon. We are going full metal here. In terms of the energy, 4 double colourless, 5 metal. The thing is here, we don't need to worry too much, because if we're using Lucario and Melmetal, we can just use the attack to get the energy out, which will help. Though we do see 1 copy of Energy Spinner here, lets you search for 1 basic energy card, but if it's your first turn of the game and you're going second, you get to search for 3 basic energy cards. Unfortunately, that is a promo card in Japan, which has not currently been released in the Western world, which is kind of upsetting. In terms of other metal-specific cards, obviously we got Metal Frying Pan, as previously mentioned, and we have 2 copies of Mount Coronet, which allows you to grab 2 metal energy from your discard pile, put them into your hand. That's another reason why we can play so few metal energy. As soon as they're in the discard, Mount Coronet says, hey. Now, there are a couple of new supporters here. One of them, Green Search. Yeah. I told you this card was crazy good. I am seeing it pop up in a lot of decks over in Japan. What it allows you to do is search your deck for 2 trainer cards, just so long as you have no Pokemon in play that have abilities. Frankly, you're going to see an awful lot of this. None of the Pokemon in this deck have abilities. Which means, oh, I'm only playing 5 basic energy. Well, that's alright. Green Search for an Energy Spinner for an energy. You're going to have that Metal Frying Pan on the turn you need it. You're going to have everything you need, essentially, when you need it. Green Search, little bit busted. And then we do see 1 copy of Lieutenant Surge's strategy. From what I can see, 1 copy seems to be standard over in Japan in a lot of decks early on in the lifespan of this card. Lets you play 2 extra supporters this turn, play Lieutenant Surge, and then 2 more. Going slightly more standard, we have 4 copies of Bill's Analysis. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, find a trainer card, put it into your hand. This is very, very important because you need to search out stuff like Metal Frying Pan. Remember, as soon as you've got a double colourless energy on Lucario, that fuels itself. Duskmane Necrozma is a single energy basic Pokemon. What you often need in this deck is supporter cards for next turn and trainer cards, item cards for this turn. That's why we're playing 4 green and 4 Bill. 1 copy of Steven's Resolve. To be perfectly honest with you, lets you search any 3 cards and it ends your turn. You go first. You might as well play it. You're going to end your turn anyway. 2 copies of Ace Roller, 1 copy of Max Potion. You have a 260 HP Pokemon that gives up 3 prizes and should be taking 30 plus 30, Metal Frying Pan, so 60 less damage from attacks. Being able to use Ace Roller or Max Potion to heal as well is just basically a bit broken. If you can find a turn where you only need to do 50 damage, Max Potion, attach double colourless, you've got full health, attack for 50, attach from your deck, next turn, 1 more energy, you're off and rolling. 1 copy of Gladion gets cards out of the prizes. There's not too much here you need to be that worried about, but maybe it's your 1 Larvitar or 1 of your double colourless energy. It's nice to be able to get it back. 2 copies of Lusamine to get supporters back. Partly this is really nice for reusing stuff like Green Search. And secondly, you're playing Lieutenant Surge, so you can actually play Lusamine and play a card you got with Lusamine straight away. But it also does recover your stadiums here, and you might use this to get Mount Coronet back. And then finally, 2 copies of Guzma, drags Pokemon active, acts as a switch. Also, 2 copies of Switch. You got high retreat Pokemon here, switching is fairly important. 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher to recover your Pokemon, so that you can use 6 Duskmane Crozma if you want. 2 copies of Ultra Ball, 4 copies of Nest Ball. This is an entirely basic Pokemon deck, and you've not got any coming into play abilities, meaning Nest Ball is by far the better card. 2 Ultra Ball, just in case you don't have them. A full 4 copies of Pokegear 3.0. That's redonk. But I just listed off all the different supporter cards this deck plays. And you want Green Search most turns. You're going to get it most turns with 4 Pokegear 3.0 and 4 green. We then see 2 Choice Band to do a little bit of extra damage, only 2 because of Metal Frying Pan, and 1 copy of Field Blower to get rid of your opponent's tools and stadiums. This is a redonk deck. The fact that you can basically be taking 60 less from attacks is crazy. You're not doing that much damage. You've not got huge damage. You're basically 2-hit KOing with Lucario and Melmetal or setting up with Duskmane the Crozma. But you're not giving up prizes, and the ability to use Green Search and Bill's Analysis just to get whatever you need every turn really is a little over the top. This doesn't have the pure smashing power that some other decks do, but you know what? This really is nice in so many ways. And now we've seen all 10 Tag Team GXs winning tournaments in Japan. That is just ridiculous. But ladies and gentlemen, I would very much like to know what you think about this deck, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about other games, like Transformers. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.